The 2022 SHOT Show barely happened. Was it worth going to?
Well, we're going to tell you all about it.
Gavin here from UltimateReloader.com. This year, Travis and I both represented at the 2022 SHOT Show. We were kind of wondering if it was even going to happen for the longest time.
Yeah, I was prepared for everything to get canceled at the last second.
Yep.
You know, this is the first time I ever get to go. I've always wanted to go to SHOT Show, get to go. It could get the carpet pulled out from underneath your feet, but it didn't. We got to go, and it was very cool.
And my mentality, hey, I'm going to the SHOT Show, and I'm going to get COVID, okay? I haven't had COVID yet. I'm getting it at the SHOT Show, and I was not disappointed. 2 days after I got back, sore throat. I pretty much worked the next week from the armchair, sending emails and follow-ups and all that kind of stuff. So I'm now in the COVID club. No, but in all seriousness, last year's show was canceled. I kept waiting for that cancellation email. It never came, but a lot of the companies that really wanted to be there, that paid money to be there, weren't. We saw everything from 8.5 by 11 piece of paper to...
Yeah, XLR Industries. I'm like cruising around, I'm going to go see XLR. I turned around the corner and I was like, ooh, bummer. There's an 8.5 by 11 sheet that says XLR Industries. And I was like, dang it, I want to see you guys. So we missed you guys.
Yep.
But we did get to see a bunch of others.
Yeah, there was some, Benelli, for instance, they had a large red sign and a large gray carpeted area, and that was about it.
Yep.
Anschutz, we really wanted to see them. They had pretty much a full booth, but no rifles and no people. It was really, really difficult to show up and be there. A lot of companies had up to 50-75% COVID rate, had to completely bail at the last minute, just really tough. The advantage was that took some of the crowd pressure off.
Yeah.
And made it a little bit more easy to talk to people and a little bit less, long lines and stuff like that for certain people.
Everybody knows SHOT Show's big. It's really big. A lot of ground to cover, a lot of places to go and see, a lot of people to see. But it wasn't crowded. You could maneuver around. You didn't have to grease your way through anything to get through. There was plenty of room to move around. I had a great time. Got to see all kinds of cool stuff. We got to hit all the reloading places. We got to see Dylan and RCBS and Lyman and Forrester. We got to meet all those guys and hang out with them and have some good conversations. We had a really good time with that. We got to go around to see a whole bunch of new stuff.
Yep.
We had a very good time with that. Got to see our friends at Bergara.
Oh, speaking of Bergara, so this is a funny story. I've been to SHOT Show a few times, and I'm all like, okay, Travis, let me show you how this is. I'm going to take you right to the tour buses. We're going to get on the shuttle to go to the range day. I'm totally lost. We're walking through a casino, but fortunately, we ran into our friends from Bergara and from some of the other companies that we work with.
Yep.
We got to sit with them on the shuttle and talk kind of the whole way.
Yep.
It was a blessing in disguise.
Very much so.
The range day, I was almost a little torn about whether to go or not. I've been there a few times, and sometimes it's really productive. Sometimes it's incredibly cold and it's a dust storm. This time it was great. We saw great people. We connected some loose ends with some companies. We wanted to work with their products and stuff like that. And then on the way back, Travis introduced me to Ilya, the Dark Lord of Optics.
Yeah, we got to hang out with Ilya. I've connected with him a little bit. We got a good bus ride, nice conversation with him. The guy's so much information. He's awesome to talk to. So shout out to Ilya. Love hanging out with him. We had dinner with him that night. That's a whole nother story. That was a great time. At range day, going back to range day, we got to shoot the 6.8 Western. We shot that new straight pull Savage. We looked at a bunch of different optics from Bushnell and all kinds of good things. We got to shoot a 45-70 suppressed. That was pretty cool.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah. What else did we get to do?
Well, we had lunch with the engineer.
We had lunch with John McQuay from 8541 Tactical.
Hey, John.
Shout out to John.
Yep.
We also had lunch with Matt Delude, he's an engineer. He works with Polymer 80, and he works a little bit with Voodoo. So Matt was a super cool guy, trying to get some hookups going through him so we can get some channels, maybe get some things going there.
Yep.
It was very cool. So that's the whole thing about SHOT for all these industry people, is the connections that you make there were just way high level, and it was super fun. Throughout SHOT Show during the week, we just go get lunch downstairs, and you just randomly sit at the table with somebody, and you just
Daryl Tom from Bat Machine, for instance.
You just have these just super cool conversations with people from police officers from departments who are looking at new guns for their departments, military guys, whatever. There's people from other countries there. You know, you're hearing all kinds of different languages, and they're looking at all kinds of things. But we had fun. We had dinner with a bunch of NRL guys.
Oh,
so
that was fun.
yeah. Pete Milan.
Who was on a plane for like, I don't know, 36 hours or something like that. He just lands in Vegas, and I'm texting him while I'm WhatsApping him, hey, get over here. There's a party going down with the NRL. And so he drug him to this restaurant, and he powered through it. He was having a great time with his buddies, seeing everybody, you know, just... it's a unique opportunity.
Yeah, so we go sit down at this restaurant, and this other guy comes, and he's like, hey, can I sit down next to you? And I'm like, who's that guy? And I'm like, oh, wait, I know who you are. So Rusty from, Impact Dynamics down in Australia. Shout out to Rusty. He was great. We hung out with him. So is Gavin and I and Pete and Rusty. So there's like 3 continents there, Australia, South Africa, the U.S. We had a great time. A bunch of guys from NRL, Northwest Guns, Slav Guns, a bunch of those guys were there. Other YouTube guys. It was pretty cool. It was pretty fun, and had a really good time that night. We got to have dinner also with Jim from Backfire.
Yep.
We did a little blurb with him. It was very cool to kind of share some things with him and what all these different creators are doing, and how we can maybe at some time in the future we'll be able to do something together and have a little bit of meshing of our content.
Yeah, some collabs would definitely be good. We talked about that with Pete Milan, maybe doing some shooting over WhatsApp, and he's in South Africa and we're here, and maybe one of us is shooting at night based on the time difference. A rare opportunity to be able to sit from someone across the table and talk about how do you do YouTube, you know?
Yeah.
How do you work with companies? How do you think about content? How do you make it all work? Because it's a very time-consuming thing. I think a lot of people don't realize how... Well, I mean, we do really technical hands-on content, so, you know, some of our stuff is a little bit more time-consuming, but regardless, it's a full-time job when you do it at that level. And to be able to get inspiration from people, to see people that you've only seen on camera. Speaking of that, we ran into a lot of Ultimate Reloader fans at the show.
Very fun to see all you guys.
People that we were engaging with at booths, you know, people that just stopped us, and a little bit of everything. So that's always fun to be able to see people, right? Because we're here, you know, we publish something on the internet and we know hundreds of thousands of people see it, but to be able to actually talk to people and ask them what they're shooting and ask them what they're reloading with, definitely cool stuff. There was some really interesting companies as well. Like, one of the things that stood out to me was talking with our friend John McGuire from Advanced Shooting Analytics, he's a former NASA engineer who has developed and patented technologies called CTX, this constant thermal expansion stuff. He's got his disruption chassis, which he launched actually at the show.
It's very cool.
Yeah. So his aim is at minimizing variables related to changes in environmental temperature. You know, and what they've discovered is that, you know, abroad, when temperatures range maybe in the desert from, like, you know, freezing all the way up to 120 degrees Fahrenheit during the day, you know, metals expand at different rates. You get different point of impact shift and stuff like that. So he's got the CTX technology. We spent quite a bit of time talking with him, and we're planning on trying to get one of those disruption chassis here on the channel and doing a build on it and helping him demo the platform. Because he's got a lot of people in high places that are paying some very close attention, you know, to this project.
People are watching this, and you guys should too, because his chassis, I think, can turn some things on their heads. It's going to be pretty cool.
Yep.
We got to see some new stuff from Aero Precision. We got to see their new chassis, their new bolt gun, their new suppressors, the whole package they did. That was a real high point for me to see that. I kind of came around the corner and I was like, whoa, look at this, look at this. I was like, dang, this is cool. So those guys did a really good job. We're hoping to get our hands on some of that stuff too.
Yep, it's going to be a number of months before they're really ready.
Yeah. They're
we
still
don't know exactly when, but...
Yeah, they're doing some final production development stuff. They got a few things they're tweaking on that action.
Yep. We're going to try and do some cool stuff with that this year.
Yeah.
In 2022. That would be kind of my goal with that. Yep.
We got to go by Frankfurt Arsenals, look at their new press,
X10.
the X10.
Yep.
Got to go by Wheeler Tools and look at their stuff. Crimson Trace, all their new optics that they've come out with. They got some pretty cool stuff. The Leopold booth was super cool to go by and see their stuff for sure.
Okay, so one of my favorite moments was we walked straight up to Steve Hornady and are like, "Hey, what's happening?"
Yeah.
You know. So we talked with Steve for quite a while, and it was really cool. And we didn't even pay this person, but we
owe you money.
Some fan came up to us while we were talking to Steve Hornady. It was like, "Oh, Ultimate Reloader, Gavin, I watch all your videos and they're just great, and you got me back into reloading and all this." And we're like,
I was like, cool.
convenient
I was like, cool.
timing.
I'm like, do you know who this guy is?
Yeah.
This is Mr. Hornady, and you're coming to talk to Gavin and I. And I'm like,
It's pretty funny.
this is Mr. Hornady. You should say hi to him. So, but anyway, that was cool. We really appreciate you guys coming up, saying hi to us. That really means a lot. I mean, it honestly means a lot. We love hearing guys' feedback. We love the encouragement, and it really drives us to do more and keep putting content out for all you guys. So thank you for that very much.
Yeah. Okay. So some other exciting new things. I have added onto the shop here. I put a 10-foot by 36-foot extension on the back of the shop, and that's going to be a paint booth. And one of the partners that we talked to at the show, a potential partner, is Cerakote. You know, a lot of you guys know about this thin film ceramic coating. It gets baked on. It's now on a lot of factory rifles. This rifle, actually, I should mention, speaking of custom paint, the EVH Tribute rifle was on display with Bat Machine at Bullet Central. Bullet Central sells Bat Actions. They sell the Bixen Indy triggers. So it was an honor to have my rifle and my artwork really displayed at the SHOT Show this year with esteemed partners like Bat Machine. So that was really cool. But back to the paint booth. So now I'm looking at putting in a blasting cabinet for prep work, having an acetone wash tank, a full, proper lit and ventilated paint booth here, and some sort of baking oven. We've got the facility built, and we're just now in the process. I've got an air dryer here in the shop, putting all that together. So just another little thing for you to look forward to this year on the channel is some really cool pistol and rifle stuff with that. Cerakote people were super cool to talk to. We had lunch with one of their certified training people.
Yeah.
That like runs the training program.
Yep.
And they were like, "Hey, let's paint some stuff together. Why don't you come on out and get some training, or we'll come and we'll do stuff with you." So we're looking forward to what that might entail.
Yeah, it should be really cool. You guys have any good ideas for what you want to see painted? I'm kind of thinking along the lines of like a Boba Fett Mandalorian thing,
Of course he is.
I missed
there
was one thing I did miss. There was this really cool, Blown Deadline did a Boba Fett rifle, and I didn't get to see it, but I heard it was pretty cool.
We'll have to see if we can do them better. You know how there's like paint scratched and worn off? It's battle worn. You know, the Boba Fett helmet.
Yeah.
We should totally do something like that.
Yeah.
That'd be fun.
So we had a lot of fun. We get to see some friends of ours there. Gentry Thorpe from Black Hammer Tactical.
Yeah, Tactical.
Yeah. I'm not quite as cool as him, but
There's a lot of diverse product categories we were able to cover. We saw friends at Clear Ballistics. If you've been watching our ballistics gel content, it was really cool to talk with them. And I was a little taken back by some of their training products.
Yeah.
They have medical training products. So, they had like a severed arm and a leg and stuff like that. You can practice,
putting tourniquets on and stuff like that.
Exactly.
And they have a really cool story about.
Yeah, well, we won't tell that one.
So
there's interesting gags and scenarios that can unfold with that kind of stuff. But
we gotta meet Jeff from ZCO Optics, from Zero Compromise Optics.
Yeah.
Oh man, some cool stuff
Blown
there.
away. He took apart some of the internal scope mechanics and whatnot. Was showing us kind of the difference between what they do and what some other scopes do. It was like.
So I had the internals of one of the ZCO scopes, and I like literally was just like, I'm okay with just sitting here playing with this, because it was just all the internals of the turrets and stuff. It was very cool to look at this stuff and see what it is and how they make it, how precise it is. It was impressive.
Yeah, it's a different kind of mechanics that offers different mechanical properties, which are cool. We did talk to Citron. This S5 did really well on the EVH rifle. They've got some really crazy windage and elevation adjustment capabilities on that 40 millimeter tube scope, the S8. And so, there's some really, really interesting things happening. But there was also some things that we missed, right?
Oh, yeah. Oh,
the 8.6 blackout.
Yeah, we didn't get to see the 8.6 blackout. And Yeah,
we
there's
were
a
just
couple
running
other-
around. We needed a whole another day, it felt like. Yeah.
2 or 3 maybe.
2 or 3. Yes.
We got to see. We got to meet up with Cal Zant from Precision Rifle Blog.
What's up, Cal?
Yeah.
We love what you're doing. And
Oh,
I'm
man.
so jealous of your underground
Yeah.
100-yard range.
We
that
need
you're
to talk
building.
about that.
Yeah, we totally need to talk.
Yeah. We got to go by the Seekins booth. Look at the Seekins Hit.
Yep.
That's a pretty sweet looking rifle. I'll tell you
Yep.
that.
I think we're going to be hands-on with that bad boy this year.
I can
More
hope
on
so.
that a little bit later.
Yeah. Yeah. So we had definitely had a fun time. I want to go back again every year,
Yep.
see my friends, and look at new products because it was cool. It was a really good experience. I'm really glad I got to go. Thanks, Gavin.
Yeah, it was great to have you there. It really felt like a team effort this time.
Yeah.
And that helps so much when they had the Caesars Forum opened up this time, so it was even bigger and more expansive, and it's just impossible to do everything in a week, especially when you're trying to record content.
Yeah.
Like we were.
We got to see the Tesla people.
Oh yeah.
Cool to see them. They're
Met the
super
CEO,
super
yeah.
cool people. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
And they were excited about some of the stuff we're doing, like on lathe inspection of chambers and stuff like that.
One thing I got to say. So we walk around, like Teslong is one of the booths. Teslong, Wheeler. You go around and they have like these TV screens sitting up there, and I'm like, oh look, there's Gavin on Ultimate Reloader on there, or at the Wheeler booth on thing down in
the
Moab.
Moab trip.
Oh,
Yep.
yeah. So that was pretty cool to see too.
Yeah, I was able to ascend Hell's Gate in 17 seconds. It was pretty funny. I got to tell that story real quick. So I'm not a rock climber, like I've done some off-roading in the mud, but never been to Moab. So we're doing Jeeps and like turbo Mavericks.
Maverick side-by-sides.
Side-by-sides in Moab, and it's totally amazing and it's awesome. And they're like, do you want to do Hell's Gate? And I'm like, okay, sure, why not? And so
He doesn't know what it is.
I drive down this V-notch rock thing, and I'm like, this is
Insane.
messed up. Okay, and
Yeah.
then I turned the corner at the bottom, and I saw the Hell's Gate ascent piece, and I'm like, what? And Talon's side was actually right in front of me, So I watched a couple Jeeps go up, and then I watched Talon go up, and Talon's front wheels are coming off the ground and all this business. The average time to ascend is in the 2 to 3 minute range. And so I think, well, what if momentum can help here, right? So I'm just on it, pedal to the metal. I'm going up the rocks, and it's like, boom, boom, picking my line. All right, and I'm like, that was cool. I get out, and I'm like, I hear, who was that? Who is that guy? Whoa, he really sent it. What's going on here? Whoa, who is this? 17 seconds. That's right. I ascended Hell's Gate in 17 seconds on my first try. Now, the person that followed me up in another Turbo Maverick put it on its side, so I think I was fortunate. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, luck played
times.
that day.
Yeah, but what Wheeler's doing is really cool. They're doing some really cool integration, and they completely rebranded Wheeler. I saw the new Tipton branding at the SHOT Show, which is sick looking, like totally modernized and modernized thinking in the product categories as well. So we'll have more on that a little bit later this year.
Yeah. So we got lots more things coming up. We're hoping to get some new partners coming in to look at some new products. We'd love to see Kestrel. Saw Ryan Hay, by the way.
We got our FFL 07 manufacturer's license recently. I haven't really formally announced this
Talking
yet.
about a bunch of suppressor manufacturers
We
that
got
we
our
met
SOT.
up with.
Yeah, so what we're going to be able to do on Ultimate Reloader in 2022 is it's going to rock our world, and hopefully it rocks your world with this cool content that we're doing. We're going to just lean into who we are and what we do, right? Hands-on, technical, scientific testing. So like with suppressors, we're looking at things like the recoil rig that we built based on Cal Zant's design. We're looking at sound level testing. Really challenging stuff, but we feel like this is new.
Kind of want to blow this up a little bit, give you guys the Ultimate Reloader and the overall picture of what we can do here, and give you guys some real good data to learn with.
Yep. Interesting things with solid copper bullets from multiple companies.
Yep.
Tons to get excited about and to do. So our question for you is, what do you want to see? If you were at the SHOT Show and saw stuff, if you were watching the coverage, what do you think is a really good fit for Ultimate Reloader? And you'd like to see what products, what technologies?
What information do you guys want to learn from us? What can we provide you guys with?
Yep.
So, yeah.
Would you want to buy a an ultimate reloader full custom rifle, because that's a capability we're bringing online this year. These are very real things.
Yeah.
we're just buckling our seatbelt here because we're going to be super busy.
Yeah.
So in the end, was it worth it?
Absolutely, 100%. Yeah.
For me, it was the best SHOT Show ever. This time.
It's the best SHOT Show for me ever too. That was the first one.
That's right.
No, it was great. I'm really glad that I went. It was a great experience. It was work. It was fun. I learned a ton, and I just can't wait to see what we can do here.
Absolutely. And we owe a huge debt of gratitude to you all, because without you all, this wouldn't happen.
Absolutely.
We wouldn't be standing here, and we wouldn't be able to do what we're doing. It's this following that we have and this community that we have that propels us forward.
Yeah,
so
very
thank
much
you.
so. Very much.
Awesome. Well, next SHOT Show is going to be even better.
It's going to be awesome, man.
All right.
Thanks, you guys. We really appreciate it. And I really can't reiterate what Gavin said. We did do great stuff here. This is super fun, and we want to provide content that you guys want to see. So let us know.
Okay. That concludes this video, and that means it's time to wrap it up. I hope you liked this video. If you did, please give it a big thumbs up. Also, make your voice heard. If you have something to say, please drop a comment. Make sure you're subscribed with notifications, because you're not going to want to miss the awesome content that is coming up. And finally, flex your reloading pride. You could look great in one of these t-shirts. We've got multiple designs at the Ultimate Reloader store. I'll see you later, because I'm off to go shooting.